What's going on, everyone? I'm Chase, and welcome back to another basic movie review channel. So let's talk about one. And the one I want to talk about is Where the Crawdads Sing. Now this one comes to us from Sony, and it hits theaters this Friday, July 15th. If you want to watch this movie, regardless of what I'm about to say. Now this one's based on a very popular book, and so what is this movie about? A woman who raised herself in the marshes of the Deep South becomes a suspect in the murder of a man she was once involved with. Now, I said murder like that because I was trying to do an Andy Bernard from The Office. There's been a murder. But it didn't work, and it came across as weird as I read that description to you. So there you go. I made myself look like an idiot, so you're welcome. Anyways, going into this, I don't read books. Shocker, right? I look like someone that I'm just so astute with all my library knowledge, that I have in my possession. I don't have any books. I think I have like maybe 2 books, and I think they're both Stephen King. I don't read books. It's not like because I don't want to. I just don't really have the time. I choose TV shows and movies as my art form to watch and listen to. So like that's just my main thing. I just don't have time for it. But in my friends' circles, I have heard a lot about this book. I've heard its praises sung for many, many years. And I like the fact that Reese Witherspoon, as a producer, has really kind of found her niche with this type of storytelling. With Big Little Lies, that was also based on a book. Little Fires Everywhere, based on a book. I like both of those shows. So she kind of has found this path of like adapting really popular books and really just making it into her own. Like this is her own little kind of corner of the industry that she is tackling, and just from a business standpoint, that's awesome. I really like that and about her, and I admire that about her. So, so never saw a trailer to it, so I went into it blind. I can tell you after watching it, just as a person that has never read the book, and a person that actually likes cheesy romance films and cute little romance films, like I'm a fan of The Notebook, right? So this stuff doesn't bother me. After watching it, I'm in that zone of thinking it's okay to slightly good. I'm kind of like in that little gray area there. I don't think it's awful by any means, but I don't think it's like fantastic. But I will say, like, as a person that has never been introduced to any of these characters or the story or the environment, I thought there was things I liked about it, and there was definitely things that were just like, it's fine. I think it's I think people that read the book will probably really enjoy it. And I think if you've never read the book, and if you're a guy or a girl that, and you're being dragged to this, your spouse wants to go because they read the book and they liked it, it could be worse. So I think you'll have a decent time with it. It's not going to be torture. I'll just put it that way. Okay. So jumping off from the story, I thought the story overall was pretty engaging. I, for one, prefer the romance stuff over the murder mystery aspect of it all. I felt like the romances were obviously the A storyline and the murder was the B storyline, and you can definitely feel that in this film. It feels like the murder mystery part of it takes a back seat, which is kind of a problem because once we kind of get to that conclusion, not only is the tension released, like the story feels concluded, then they tack on another 5 to 10 minutes to try to wrap everything up and kind of push through the rest of these characters' arcs and journeys. And I don't know, it just felt a bit rushed, not only with that ending, like I said, but also with the kind of murder aspect of it. I don't know, it felt kind of half-assed, if that's the best way to put it. But I like the romance part of it enough to where, like, I think it all kind of balances out to just an okay to slightly good movie. So there's my kind of quick thoughts on the story. Yeah, as far as it being adapted from a book, you can definitely feel it. It feels like a book adaptation. This film has narration over it. It has a really great sense of setting and environment and really kind of captures the imagination of this small little town in the marshes. And they're like 2 completely different areas, but they're in the same county, I believe. So they feel like 2 different worlds. And I really like the imagination that director Olivia Newman brought from the book to the big screen. You can definitely feel the atmosphere in this film. And then the second thing that makes it feel like a book is it does jump from present to past events, and that's how they kind of like weave the story in and out. So it's very non-linear. That's the way most books are. And so, yeah, I thought just from an adaptation standpoint, I think Olivia Newman did pretty well with it, and making it feel like it's its own thing, and really making you feel like you are a part of these characters' journey and like the part of the environment. I don't know. There was a very like inclusiveness to like immediately being able to jump into it and feel like you're a part of this world, and that's awesome. It's great world building, and so I like that from director Olivia Newman. Yeah, and like I said, I was more engaged with like the romance part of it because I think the performances really kind of anchor that quite well. But as far as like the murder stuff goes, it was fine. And then once the reveal kind of happens, the last 10 minutes are kind of sped up to get to that reveal. I don't know. It just felt like kind of like the movie was saying like, okay, we got to wrap up. We gotta head out of here. But other than that, I thought the movie was just kind of fine as like a general romance film. Speaking of the romance, the chemistry between the two main actors, Daisy Edgar Jones and where's the gentleman at Taylor John Smith as Tate. I like their chemistry. It's very cutesy, very just kind of natural, and just I really kind of felt that love and passion between these two people, and really them kind of figuring out like what they want to do with not only their relationships but with their lives in general, and like what they truly want. They were just trying to figure out themselves, and I thought it was just a really nice relationship. And of course, the villain of the film, where is he at? He's got my name. He's sharing my name, and I will tell you right now, it irked me every time he said this man's name because he was definitely the villain of the film. And I was like, come on, man. You're making all chases look bad everywhere. Harris Dickinson, truly maniacal, just like a really just deeply rooted evil person that this gentleman was trying to portray, and like he had the suaveness to it, so like you definitely felt like he was swindling you as an audience as well. But like once he started showing his true colors, you're like, oh no, man, this guy's got to go. But I thought he was really great too. So a great foil for this love triangle between Harris Dickinson, Taylor John Smith, and Daisy Edgar Jones. It was really great stuff. And Daisy Edgar Jones as a main character, she is fantastic in this. I really felt everything that she was going through. Growing up with an abusive father in the household, her losing all of her siblings, her not wanting to go to school because people kept making fun of her because she was different and she didn't live in the city or the town or whatever. She really carried all of that emotion on her shoulders, and she had to basically like survive by herself and like really defend for herself. Like no one was going to do that for her, so she had that strength and that power of her just choosing her own destiny and making sure like no one else did that for her. And there was just something to be said about the way her character was written, and I really kind of felt her entire journey. And that has to also do with her performance. Daisy Edgar Jones is fantastic. If you've never seen Normal People, which is also a really intense love story on Hulu, check it out. She's phenomenal in it. That's where I first got introduced to her. So this, she fits this type of movie, romances. Or whether it be period pieces or current day, she can do it. And so I want her to do more stuff like this. But everyone else also really great. And it's nice to see like people, even with book adaptations like this that look cheesy on the surface, like people could have easily hammed their performance in. But I like the fact that everyone kind of committed and everyone was a part of the era that it was portraying. And you felt like these were, people in this small little town and near the marshes and stuff. And once again, it kind of adds to the atmosphere of it. I thought it looked really good. There's definitely some cinematography that was just kind of like blah, kind of just like whatever. But I think the utilization of trees and the marshes and the water and just, once again, utilizing the environment really kind of makes these shots stand out more. Makes it really, you really feel like you are there. And so I thought a lot of the scenes with the with trees that have the moss off their branches, always beautiful stuff. In every film that you see, it's just really just adds a lot to it. Just kind of makes it feel fantastical and just really not a part of any reality, but like it adds to the, I guess, like I said, the romance of it. You feel like you're in a dream and whatnot. And so I really like the environment and them utilizing it pretty well for the cinematography. So yeah, I don't know what else more to say. It's very, like I said, it's very standard. It's not anything too explosive. It's not gonna like knock your socks off. It's not gonna change the game when it comes to these types of things. But as far as a person like me, never read the book, I didn't know what to expect. I just knew that this was gonna probably be a romance film. It's gonna be slightly cheesy and slightly corny, but you know what? There's a reason why people like this stuff. Because it brings a smile to their face. It makes them feel joyful. It transports them to an era and a relationship where like they just love to get involved in because it's characters they like to follow. And so I could feel that. I could feel the energy in the room as I watched it with people sitting there knowing that they probably read the book and like they were just in this 100%. And I could see the appeal. And so while it may not be for me, I'm probably never going to watch it again. Guys, ladies out there, if you're being dragged by your significant other because they have read the book, you could have a worse time. It's not that bad. But yeah, I had a decent time with it, and there were some good things I liked about it. And I think the anchor performance from Daisy Edgar Jones really taking us through a whirlwind of an experience with her character, I think really makes this film quite a bit. So yeah, that's my thoughts on this. Yeah, not bad. So well, maybe you want to read the book. That's the question. I would probably just never read books in general. So it's not just this one. It's all books. Yeah, it's really depressing. I'm sorry. Anyways, what did you guys think of Where the Crawdads Sing? Please comment down below whether you loved it, hated it, liked it, whatever. And please let me know what you thought of the book. I would like to know your thoughts on that and like how does it compare to the film? I'm curious. I always like hearing people that are avid book readers and they watch the film adaptations and how it really kind of affects them differently. And so I'm interested in all that. But yeah, Where the Crawdads Sing. Not bad. There's my stamp of approval right there. There you go. Put it on the back of the DVD cover. Not bad. Chase Lee. There you go. That's it right there. So yes, that will do it for this review, guys. Thank you for joining me on my channel here. If you could subscribe and hit that follow button, like it, do all the social media stuff so you can get updates on whenever I review anything. And I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye bye.